And then finally, just in entertainment news, of course, you can see all of these guys talking about different things. You can check Luis out on Mi Gente's show. They're always hitting up something in the entertainment industry, talking about everything that's going on. Zoo with Animation Deliberation, giving you everything that you need on the forefront of animation. And Scott Elia hates movie theaters, and he'll let you know about it, goddammit. But are any of you checking out this movie? I've been very curious about it, and I haven't seen any of the movies that have come before. I don't even know how you guys really feel about horror movies as we're sneaking here into spooky season, but the Terrifier series is finally catching my attention. Luis has it. Okay, so Art the Clown. It's this apparently wildly gory fucking horror film. Terrifier 3 took number one at the box office this past weekend. It made I think about $19 million, which was more than any of the previous two had done in their entire releases. Luis, what am I missing here with Terrifier? I'm not a big horror movie guy, and
What's the scuttlebutt?
Not big on gore, but yeah, tell me about Terrifier.
So, as somebody who goes out of their way to watch as many movies as possible as a filmmaker, I've gotten into the point where if I feel like I'm missing films or I haven't watched enough in a genre, I'll take a director. I'll try to find like most disturbing horror films of all time and try to watch as many of them as I haven't. You're going to have movies on there like Serbian film, which is disgusting, 100 Days of Salo, which is another Italian film that's got a lot of gore and just kind of gore as an allegory for like a socio-political issue.
Allegory.
Right? Yeah. So there's a movie like Martyrs that's very you can go watch a movie like Martyrs, the French version, stuff like that. So Terrifier was an attempt at it's an indie film, and there's a lot of indie filmmakers that like horror that'll try to come up with a new scary. There's not, the scary clown concept is not new. A lot they've been trying to do it a lot, since like the original Horrible Clown. Fucking Gacy, who fucking murdered 37 men and put it in their crawl space in Chicago back in the day. So, what's Terrifier? An indie horror movie. It is the first one was he appeared in another indie film first, but the first Terrifier had a lot of cool stuff. It was gory, but it was just cool indie film. Then they did a Kickstarter for the second one, made it basically as much money as they raised, they spend that money in the movie. And then the third one got picked up as an indie film as well. And then it just made a shitload of money, and it's growing its popularity amongst the horror community. But I'm more of a classic horror film guy. So I understand that there's a lot of people like, you have Saw, like the torture porn. You have more of like the drama, suspense, like Scream, things like that. This falls firmly into the do you want to see somebody getting skinned alive? Do you want to see somebody just getting chopped up and having literal salt poured on their wounds? The thing I don't like about Terrifier, and specifically about the second Terrifier movie, was that he was very a bit there's some cringe elements to Art, because it would be one thing if he was just a psychotic killer clown, which of course it's a thing, but he's more of like he's an evil presence demon serial killer that got possessed by a demon apparently, because we get more lore in Terrifier 3. I am going to go watch it. But there were just these elements of, without spoiler alert, because he kills a lot of people. He kills somebody, literally skinning them alive and pouring salt in their wound. And the person's family member walks in to see their family member being skinned alive and chopped up. And you see all the gore and body parts chopped up and skin falling off. And then he literally, like, the person is screaming in horror, and then Art the Clown is like, "Oh, I'm such a stinker!" Like, "Woohoo!" Like literally, like a tee-hee. I guess I'm doing like a naughty thing, and that part just rubs me the wrong way about it. It's, because it feels like I don't know, man. There's something about that cringy element to it that I don't like. There's some really cool effects. There's some real cool story points. Some world building. He at one point um, feeds kids Halloween candy from an actual severed human head, which I really liked. So there's both good and bad in it. But if you are a fan of, like I said, not classic horror, not more like on the torture porn side. Like if you were like, man, I like Saw, but I wish it was more graphic, then you might like Terrifier 3 or Terrifier 2. And don't get caught up in all this like, oh, there's signs at the movie theater saying if you feel sick, go see an usher or something like that's a law for all movies. If you don't feel good at a movie theater, you can always go talk to an usher or to the maintenance staff. That's just pure marketing. Just kind of like, I think it's interesting that Smile 2 is coming out and that they sent those people back to the baseball games again to just look creepy in the background. Smile is more of a classic horror movie, like suspense, drama, more of that. Terrifier is just pure action gore. It's gore set pieces, and I do want to see it because I do think I have heard that they go more into the lore, into what made Terrifier Art the Clown really become what he is. But there are some cringe elements to it that that just sort of sit with me wrong because of the fact that it's literally just that part where he makes that stupid face, like, oh, I guess I'm just a psycho killer that just has your daughter here and I'm pouring salt on her wounds. Oh, and the woman's literally just screaming her head off. And so I don't know. That's it. That's my Terrifier take.
I'm curious about this, and I need to get some more education on Art the Clown. I might need to watch at least like some clips here because there is something.
Watch Terrifier 1. Watch Terrifier.
Okay,
it's a good little indie horror movie.
As like we're getting closer to Halloween, we're going to be doing Ricks versus Gricks about a day early on Halloween week. We'll have the show released on Halloween. We're going to record that Wednesday, so just a heads up there for the people. But we'll be having Travis Byram on that show as our guest picker, possibly even 7 October's Gabby Moreno, if she can pop on that night to talk a little bit about horror and some rankings. Travis has been watching a new horror movie every day for the month of October, so he's got plenty to talk about on that. But at some point, maybe even for a Sunday hangover as we're in spooky season, I want to do a movie monster draft. And I need some type of rules or regulation on this because, like, I'm thinking, like, like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. Like, I want, like, horror movie icons. But I'm also wondering if we're doing a monster movie or movie monster draft, would, like, Godzilla also be considered in that, since the original was kind of considered a horror movie of sorts of movie monsters. Yeah. We'll go through this. And we'll figure this out. We'll figure out.
Would the white girl from Get Out count as a monster?
Yes, the whole family could consider.
Okay, I would have voted for Obama 3 times.